you sing the blues you come to take an exam? Are you perhaps a worrier? Are you a scrambler, rushing to cram facts into your head at the last minute? Are you a fidgeter, scared of every exam? My friend Bob used to be all those things. Then something happened. Something that ought to interest you. You see, he learned a system. It started one day when Bob had fallen down on another exam, and...
You haven't been doing very well on your examinations, have you?
Why do I have to take examinations? I hate them. I'm sorry, Miss Foster, but
That's all right, Bob. I don't especially enjoy examinations either, but they're the only way I have of making sure the class is progressing well. And they're the best way you have of checking up on yourself to make sure you're getting the most you can out of your courses.
Well, I'm sure I'm getting more than that on a commercial geography.
Well, perhaps you need to concentrate more on your examinations. Develop skills in preparing for them and in taking them.
Well, that's just the point, Miss Foster. How can I do better?
There is a very good system for doing better on your examinations. I believe you missed the discussion we had in class one day. First, keep up with daily work. You'll want to do that, exams or no exams.
Keep up with daily work. Plan effective reviews. Be concerned, but don't worry. Get set, then do your best. That's the system. And Bob didn't waste any time putting it to work. First, keep up with daily work. The way to go about that is to keep a careful record of assignments every day, and do them every day. Well, what's the assignment for tomorrow? Study questions. Better get to work on that right away. When you put it off, the work just piles up, so dig right in. Keep up with daily work. Now, when you've done tomorrow's assignment, you're ready for step 2 of our system for better examinations. Plan effective reviews. Bob learned that there are 2 important kinds of reviewing. One is regular review. About once a week, review the material you covered that week. You'd be surprised how that kind of regular review helps make what you've learned really stick. And that helps, as Bob found out a week or so later when Miss Foster gave a surprise quiz. For once, Bob wasn't hit by that old sinking feeling. No, he didn't exactly shine on the quiz, but he was better prepared than he'd ever been before. And so he just naturally did better work. Regular reviewing pays off. Later, when a major exam was scheduled, Bob set out to plan ahead for the other kind of reviewing, intensive review. That day was Monday. He could spend more time reviewing on Wednesday and Thursday if he needed. Friday was the day of the exam. It would cover the subject of transportation. When you settle down for an intensive review, you can get help from a lot of places. Your textbook, of course, is one. The table of contents gave Bob a sort of general picture of the section on transportation. Turning to the chapter on transportation, he ran through it quickly, just to fix the general plan of it in his mind. At the end of the chapter, there were more helpful review aids. Questions. What inventions do you think have been the most important aids to progress in transportation? Well, Bob thought it over. He had some ideas for the answer, but he felt he had better plan to reread the section of his text dealing with inventions. He also referred to his notes, his records of class discussions and outside reading. These are useful review aids, too. That's the way Bob worked, testing himself, rereading his textbook and notes whenever he wasn't sure of the material. Later that evening, Bob used another review aid, his old exam papers. In looking them over, Bob discovered something. Now, for him, objective test questions calling for simple, short answers were fairly easy. His big trouble was with subjective test questions, calling for more explanation. So Bob discovered one of his weaknesses, and he went to work on it. Has air transportation affected the general life of your community, and if so, how? Sounds just like an exam question. So Bob practiced writing a full answer. Using review aids, testing yourself, jogging your memory. That's the way to go about an intensive review. On Wednesday, Bob tried another kind of reviewing, one that gives good practice in answering questions and helps clarify the course material. With some friends, he cooked up a sort of quiz program, testing out possible exam questions on each other.
That's a good question. Compare railroads and airlines as haulers of freight.
Well, that's easy. Airplanes have it all over trains. So much faster.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe speed isn't so important. Trains can haul bigger, bulkier loads.
You know what I think? I think that the question didn't mean for us to choose between them. It meant for us to compare them. If I got that question on an exam, I'd pick out the advantages and disadvantages of both of them.
Yes, Bob found this a useful and pleasant way to review. Well, came the night before the exam. How did Bob stand? He'd reviewed his textbook and his notes. He'd tested himself with sample questions. He'd used still other methods of review. What about that system he was following? Keep up with daily work, plan effective reviews. That's all right. What's next? Be concerned, but don't worry. Well, look at it this way. You've done all you can. You feel pretty sure you know the material. So why worry? Don't wear yourself down studying too much the night before the exam. Get to bed at your usual time. Be rested. Be ready. Well, here we are again, waiting for the exam. And how's Bob taking it? Well, he's making himself comfortable. That's the last step in our system. Get set, then do your best. We can't expect Bob to be perfect, but let's watch him for pointers on this business of actually taking an exam. First, be conscious of time. You know how much time you have. Don't waste any. Begin by reading through the whole exam to get a general idea of the questions. It's a good idea to underline the special directions on each question, the key words. Explain. List. True or false. This way you're sure you know just what's expected on each question. For instance, this first question says, explain. That means writing out a full answer. With this type of question, write down the most important general ideas first, then add as much detail as you can. But don't get so wrapped up in it that you don't leave time for the rest of the exam. So what's the next question? List 5 methods of communication in use today. A simple, short answer question. But say you can only think of 4. Well, write them down. Maybe another will come to you later. True or false? Start by answering the ones you feel sure about. But it may be better not to guess if your teacher subtracts for wrong true-false answers. Well, we don't have to take this exam. The point is, Bob's taking it pretty well in his stride. Would you like to do better on your examinations? Then why not try this system?